Welcome back, guys. I wanted to bring back Lauren and Adriana for a wrap up for Miss USA. Um, Even though Adriana claimed that there was no way of picking a winner by based on photo, we can now certify to say that Adriana not only did she pick out of the top 15, did she picked 5 out of the top 15. She also picked 2 in the final 3. So kudos
Oh yeah.
So kudos to Adriana. Lauren didn't do that bad either with 2 in the first round, and she kicked my butt with I'm only getting 1 in the first round, but my one lone pick got the whole way to the third round, to the top 3. So, um, what do you guys think of Miss USA this year? Any surprises?
I think I was very surprised that Texas did not get top 15, especially because um, just word of mouth and talking about prelims, everybody thought she was a guaranteed top 15, and most people predicted her as the winner. But not seeing her being called for that last law in top 15 definitely was a big old plot twist this year.
I don't know much about Texas at all. And I also, you probably wouldn't believe this, but I didn't really know much about any of the candidates. I, in fact, only looked at their photos from the headshots as well as just watching finals. So unfortunately, I don't know any of their interview or resumes or anything. But I think Kansas, to my knowledge, looks pretty similar to Texas. And in my knowledge and I guess formulated opinion based on what I've experienced, I don't think they like putting two women that look similarly in a top 15. Um, at least it hasn't occurred anytime recently. So I had noticed that Kansas looked a lot like Texas, so maybe that's who beat Texas in for the top spot.
Do you think this?
Probably.
Do you think Kansas just had the better interview then?
Pardon?
Do you think Kansas just had the better interview, or do you think it was a toss up?
Well, I think Kansas was really strong for many reasons. I think I kind of wished her hair was in a ponytail, honestly, in that evening gown, but I really liked her evening gown selection as that black velvet. But then also she had multiple sort of, she was very well spoken in that one little clip they did of the commercials where they kind of told their background. She started with something, but then she concluded that she wanted to be the first, or to be the press secretary of the United States of America, and I think that's really strong. And I knew from what little time they did have speaking, I knew that she was qualified based on what she had said in those small times. So I felt that she was a strong candidate.
Well,
Um,
they brought that up at least twice
but
because
but at the same time, I never saw anything Texas said because Texas wasn't even given the opportunity in the top 15. So Texas could have a great. I just don't know anything about Texas either, but that
well,
was my only observation that Kansas looked like
well it was it,
similarly to Texas.
it was pretty obvious that Texas must have not done well because Texas didn't get any, B roll at all. So I mean, there was.
Well, that's also funny because in USA, like the people that do the B roll, you get chosen. Like me, for example. I mean, my year was also the only year they've ever done only a top 10, so I kind of got the short end of the stick anyway. But I was chosen and favored throughout my Miss USA experience a lot. I did the Cheat commercial, I did the Andy commercial, I did the Cherry Hill commercial, and so and I wasn't picked to be a semifinalist. So there are those girls that are chosen for a lot of things and then aren't necessarily in it. But then it's also funny that at the same time, the girls that are chosen also make it. So it's kind of like they pick an amount of the favored girls, and you either realize you were just favored for the content because maybe because I have a background in acting. I don't even know why, but I have seen both sides of someone who does still get to experience all those things and not make it into the semifinal.
I mean, I mean, your experience outweighs any comment I can say. It sounded to me like she just didn't make an impression, but your comment there
Wait,
also
but,
says
but
that
it's
the
funny
staff
because
is a
they say
different.
those. I don't know. It's so interesting because they say those things are like chosen at random, or they don't even give you a reason of who does what. You're just like given schedules. So who knows if it actually does come into play? But yeah, no, it's always interesting to see that the girls that were chosen the week before some of them do end up on the stage.
So Lauren, what did you think had the best dress out of the top 15? Oh, would that be
Oh,
top 10, right?
out of the top 10,
Yes.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Florida's dress was gorgeous. And
I'm
glad
so glad she fixed it for
front.
final.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I'm so glad she fixed the front of it. And I think definitely that was a good selection for her, and it really was a standout.
I mean, my favorite, as you guys all know, is New Mexico. I thought her dress was just phenomenal. Just, I love the color with her skin and that beautiful yellow color just radiated. And of course, the young lady that won North Carolina, who won USA, her white dress was just incredible with her natural curls. So
Yeah, I liked the winner's dress. It was cute, the dangling beads.
Yeah, it was very gorgeous.
I honestly wasn't too wowed by any of the gowns. All of them were white, red, and yellow, and then the one black one from Kansas. So I thought that was funny. People always say the winning colors are white, black. Well, black for blondes or for lighter hair color, and then white and red, which seemed to be true. But then also Maryland and Mexico both had yellow. I thought it was unfortunate that they came out back to back because they were the only two gowns with color, and they came out right after each other. But I don't think I liked how New Mexico's green earring matched the embellishment on her gown. I thought that was good.
I think that's
in good taste.
I think it's a perfect comment there, Adriana, because I think it was really hard for the judges to pick Maryland over New Mexico just based on going back to back. I mean, no disrespect, but one dress is better than the other. It's no disrespect. But if you're going to put those two dresses back to back, that's not fair to Mariella. And her dress wasn't.
I'm sure you could say that. I just remember them being back to back because they were both yellow and it was the only other color.
And I know, and
like both whites had gone back to back. I don't think it really matters about the color. I just thought it was interesting that those colors were the only one.
No, I what I'm saying is I absolutely agree. Going to the bathing suit, I think Mariella's bathing suit was one of the best ones. I mean, I think
her walk was one of the best. I really was so underwhelmed with the walk quality of this class. No offense to them, but I wanted more. I wanted more like commanding of the stage, if that made sense.
Sure. Now remember, this stage was.
I wanted a little bit more presence.
Compared to the year of last year, which would be 2018, their stage was more like a normal Broadway stage. The year of 2018 was a straight L stage, so it also might be just the way they shot it too. But I agree. This year's I thought the dresses overall, the evening gowns, could have been they all seemed to be like small, no long trains, nothing really fancy. I thought like Mariella's one bikini, I thought looked perfect on her, but there none of did. Lauren, do you have any opinion on, did anyone else's bikini stand out to you? Because I couldn't really think of anyone else that just like really was incredible.
I mean, the winner,
she was jacked. Chesley is jacked. Her abs were unreal. Like her body was amazing. Yeah.
No,
but
she posted something on her Instagram about like someone asked her like, oh, what was your prep? And she goes, I did 600 reps for crunches and ab work a day. And I was like, well, there you go. That's
600.
600. Wow. And she and then she was like, oh, when I was doing she did, I think she said some type of sport, I don't want to get it wrong, some type of sport in college, and they had to do 1,200 daily. So she had to cut that in half.
Wow.
I was like, you're kidding. I
I'm,
was like, that makes so much more sense now.
I mean,
Okay.
that talk about some
Yeah,
dedication there. That's some awesome. I mean, just to put
that's
the time in. I mean,
unbelievable.
just the time to do that. It's got to be what, an hour's worth of just crunch routine.
Yeah. Just
I mean, yeah.
Well, any surprises? Any comments you guys want to make on the
I
overall
didn't.
field? Do you think that they I personally think they definitely picked a great girl to be Miss USA. Any arguments with that?
No, not at all. She was great.
no.
No.
I'm very happy with the.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Any
Beautiful.
surprises overall with the field? Like, did you have anybody you just thought you couldn't believe made it? Just was total shock.
I was shocked. Well, I don't want to say shocked because I wasn't like negatively upset about
No,
it, but
it's not
I
negative.
just had I didn't have Pennsylvania on my radar at all, and she must have been qualified because she made it in there, and I had no idea. I
Well,
had never even recognized her.
when
Was it who was like sliding? Like who was someone? I forget. It wasn't Nevada that kept on like just getting into every round, just like out of nowhere.
Well, DC really
Yeah,
did
the
well
white
too. DC
Oh,
all down with
DC.
one shoulder.
DC did really well. Nevada did really well. I didn't have Nevada on my list at all. Nevada did
No,
really,
it's not on my radar at
yeah.
all.
And DC's a wonderful girl.
Yeah,
Nevada.
Nevada kept sliding in there. She was Latin, though. I was happy they put a Latin girl in there.
So, and then we talked about this. We really thought it was going to be a Latino year with all the girls on the list, and it kind of did. It kind of did.
They've overlooked us again. What else is new?
Well, I don't. I know she didn't. I know New Mexico didn't win, Adriana, but I think she made a huge. If the glass ceiling wasn't broken, I think she definitely cracked it pretty wide open. I think she represented your culture very well, and she shows that someone from
I was
another.
really disappointed in her
Oh,
last
really?
answer for on-stage
Oh,
question.
okay. You're upset with that answer. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she didn't. I just didn't understand why she was talking about her followers.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
So
mean, I just, that was the one thing. I loved her up until that point. I was just kind of confused. I think also, I mean, I can't imagine getting to that point. She's probably so nervous, but at the same time, I agree with you. She did represent amazingly. But that last question, I think, is what did it for her in terms of where she stood, because the other two answered them like pretty spotlessly.
do you think there would have been any way to, because I mean, I didn't think there was any way to answer North Carolina, like debate North Carolina came out, gave like the answer to win Miss USA, and I don't think anyone else could have said like.
and the only one that didn't go over time.
Right, exactly.
Both of the other ones went over time. So she was number one. Yeah, exactly. Both of the other ones got the buzzer. But also, I mean, neither of the other two girls heard her answer. So I mean, I don't think it's fair to say that she came out and won it like spot on because they didn't know what she said. I mean, the word she chose innovative, which North Carolina said innovative, which I think was genius as her word for defining our generation. And Oklahoma said diverse, and she still said it great. But I think you can sort of argue any generation is diverse, or all of them are. And then New Mexico's was impactful, and that's why I didn't understand why she was talking about her followers, because what she said after she said impactful didn't really align with the word impactful, which I guess it could, but it was just a statement that was less. It honestly, unfortunately, was less impactful because she couldn't really support it than Oklahoma's and North Carolina's, because they then spoke with such conviction.
And that's what I was, that's what, like, it hit me really bad because North Carolina's was so, her answer was so straight and conviction, and it was so good. Me as the viewer, I didn't think that even if she heard the answer, I don't think that New Mexico could have rebutted her. It's really hard because she's a lawyer, so her job is to give the last statement in a trial. So she was prepared to answer that. So, overall, I think it was a good year. Any disagreements, ladies?
I thought it was a pretty great year. I think when we got to top 15, top 10, even top 5 to the winner, I think everything made sense and was fair, and I really liked just the shockers from people just guessing, like how Texas was just so everybody thought she was top 15 and it just didn't happen. That was the only shock to me, but everything else just made sense and I thought it was well deserved and all the girls did very well.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think, in my opinion, that there was any really huge shock. I was shocked that Virginia didn't do well because they love a woman that's in the military. She must have really not been impactful enough in her interview. So that's what I'm thinking. But I would have thought she would have been a shoo-in for top 15 just because she's in the military. But
that may be now, I guess, becoming overdone because they had Deshauna as Miss USA, and then last year they had Iran. I think it was Miss Iran Universe or Miss Israel Universe. She was in the Army as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, we want to congratulate Adrianna on her victory, getting, as we said,
thank you so much.
getting her top 5 to the final round, getting 2 of her top 5 to the final round, and North Carolina being the winner. So congratulations on Adrianna. So she can now officially say, even though she says it's impossible to pick the winner, she can now officially say that Adrianna can pick Miss USA by just picking it based on the photo. So kudos to Adrianna on that.
Get it, Adrianna.
Thank you.
So, and I remember you specifically making such a big point about North Carolina's hair, and you were absolutely right, dead on. And I think she's going to be a really successful role model for all African-American colored girls. And now that we have a teen that is also doing natural hair, this might be a new generation of girls that are going to go more natural. So we'll see.
Yep. And for the first time in history, Miss USA, Miss Teen USA,
and America,
and Miss America are all African American.
And to take it another step, even Miss United States is African American. So it's a very, very cool place we're living in right now. So congratulations to you, Adrianna, and to all the girls competing last week, and congratulations, North Carolina, on becoming Miss USA. Thanks, guys. Would love to do this again for Miss America. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you for our wrap up in September for Miss USA. I mean, Miss America. Bye, ladies. Bye.
Don't forget to follow me at Adrianna David and at Charity's Angels.
And don't forget to follow me at lsimp_99 on Instagram and Twitter.
And again, guys, make sure you check out Lauren and also check out Adrianna's not-for-profit Charity's Angels. Thanks, guys. Bye.